the best way to like make your girl comfortable on a threesome is like always make your girl in charge. Like, and I think that's where men fuck up in a threesome is like, if you're more excited than me, if you're initiating too much,
so true.
It's like, let me be the boss of this like encounter. Chemical X. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Chemical X podcast. It's your girl Veronica
and your other girl Alessia.
And guys, come on, it's season 5. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, and please leave a comment down below. Let us know if you like the episode. Give us any ideas for topics. Tell us we're cute. Tell us we're ugly. You know, whatever you feel, whatever your heart desires.
A view is a view, and a comment is a comment.
100%.
If there's something we learned in season 5, we'll take it all.
We'll take anything. So we're back again. One of us is getting married. Not sure who. I mean,
Veronica. I'd have to have a boyfriend for that.
Well, not gonna lie, you look like the bride.
Listen, all guys, that talk in the last episode about bachelor, bachelorettes, maybe I found someone.
Maybe. Could be.
Maybe.
Well, by the way, I just want you to know that Alessia's a liar because I FaceTime Alessia one day with this outfit on. And she said, like, I really don't like that dress. And I was like, okay, well, first of all, number one, fuck you, I didn't ask. Second of all, when I wore it again, she said, that's the cutest outfit I ever saw. So, like, what do I do here, guys? I'm pissed at you because you originally thought my outfit was ugly.
So I don't know why, but it wasn't presented like this when I saw it. Be honest.
It was probably like a no makeup hair tied, and you judged me. You didn't have the vision, which I always have for everyone else.
No, I have the vision. There was something that was going on.
Anyways, well, now it's here and now it's cute. So
it's very
I
cute.
guess vote down in the comments below if it's cute or not.
It's
you know, I feel
cute.
like I have to show it.
And everyone's going to be like, well, that's just so basic in a white dress. Like, who does she think she is?
Well, I'm in literally lingerie.
No, it's really cute.
Well, speaking of lingerie, I have 2 questions for you. Actually, you know what? Let me start off with a little story time.
Story time.
I was at my mom's this weekend, and you know how the town, it talks. The town will always talk.
I hate the town.
It's actually crazy how, like, the weirdest people know the randomest things about you, and then somehow your mom finds out. And you're like, you're not even supposed to know. Like, why are people telling you this information? You know what I mean? Like, I always got baited. I always got like ratted out.
You have a podcast and you're out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like, my mom knows. My mom watches. Like, she doesn't need you to tell her what I'm doing. Speaking of the town talking, as one does, my mom works at our local bank, okay? And a guy comes in and is chatting with my mom. I guess he realizes that she's my mom. And he asks her, do your daughters have OnlyFans? And my mom is like, what is that? Because my mom obviously doesn't know what OnlyFans is. And he's like, oh, well, like, it's a site where you can like post content. Like, does your daughters have OnlyFans? You know, because like I follow your daughters on Instagram. Like, do they have an OnlyFans? And my mom was like, well, no, like, I don't know what that is. And then later, I'm only finding this out because I went over and she asked me, she's like, hey, like, what's OnlyFans? And I was like, well, listen, it's kind of like when you ask me what Snapchat is, I'll attempt to explain it to you. But I was like, look, it's a site where creators, they post things. It's usually naked pictures. It's usually, you know, PG-18
so
R-rated.
Narrow-minded. Come on, Veronica. Know? People just post bikini pics too.
Look, there's everything on OnlyFans, but it's known for, you know, the porn and the nudes. And that's what I said. And she's like, have you ever had an OnlyFans? And I was like, no. And then I pulled out, would you be mad if I did though? You know, like just to gather information while I'm there. And she's like, no, like somebody asked me if you had an OnlyFans. And I was like, that is the most disrespectful thing that you can do, because just like, I don't have an OnlyFans, but if I did, who are you to not
only... And if you weren't close to your mom and you didn't tell her.
But not only that, but like first of all, why are you talking about me? Second of all, to my mom, like you're going to ask, like I find it's one thing to be like talking about, let's say I had an OnlyFans with like friends and like mutual people.
Yeah.
But like going to my mom and asking my mom if I have an OnlyFans is the lowest, most disrespectful shit ever.
You know that the girl doesn't have an OnlyFans and you're just stirring up shit.
Yeah.
Because if you knew or you didn't know, why would you go up to the mom?
Obviously, if you follow me on Instagram, then you would know that I don't. right?
And clearly, if you're following my life that much, then you know.
Exactly. And the idea that you have to, like, as if it's obviously done out of maliciousness, because as if my mom would say, yeah, her OnlyFans is fucking Little Kitten 1. Like, obviously not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just done in such
Little
a malicious
Kitten 1,
way.
eh?
Little Kitten 1.
I don't hate it.
Whatever. Little Kitten.
Sounds like you made it like a couple years ago when you were really hush-hush, and now your mom found out.
And now, you know, I started making it big, and suddenly I wasn't so
and
shy
suddenly, meow.
and they couldn't let me change my username, just like my Snapchat. But anyways, I just couldn't believe that happened to me. It's just insane.
People are so, like,
But
honestly,
mind your business.
I was just going to say that. Mind your own business. If I did or if I don't, it's none of your business. You want to chat about it with your friends. You want to chat about it with anyone. You literally know that that's my mom. Like, at least do me the respect of whether she knows or doesn't know. Just keep your mouth shut.
Just shut the fuck up for once. Especially you're going to tell the woman who sees your bank account. You're trying to run your mouth to her? Like, who are you?
Yeah.
Like, I have your balls in my hands. I can see how much is in your checking account, bitch.
Literally.
I see how much you owe on your credit card. Who do you think you are talking about my daughters?
Yeah.
That's how I would be. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Your mom should have been like, not that I know of, but I looked into your account and my daughter has more money than you.
Well, she should have been like, listen, I can clearly see that's a problem for you on your statements because that's where all your money goes.
Maybe whatever that app is, why don't you get on it?
Yeah. Seems like there's a lot of payments going to OnlyFans, though. Seems like you would know if they had an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Like, bitch. So name necklaces are, you know, the best way to remember the girl's name that you're dating. You don't remember what your star sign is. But sometimes it's also a great way to know if the girl you're fucking with is actually of age. Because as soon as you see like a 9, like whatever's happening here, like a 1996, you're safe. You know, you're not going to jail.
Baby. You're not going to jail.
You're not going to jail. You're good. She's of age enough to come in the club, you know? But like also like at what point am I not going to be wearing my year because I'm already hitting that point?
You have 2 years left.
I actually think this is my last year. I actually think after this year, like I can rest the 1996 necklace.
But guys, luckily with every jewels, there is more than just that type of necklace. There is star signs, there's horoscopes,
there's also other years if you're actually younger than me, so no stress there.
Absolutely.
If you're a 2000s baby, you have no worries at all. So that being said, head on over to Every Jewels, and whether it's the year you want to wear around your neck, your name, or just cute jewelry, use our discount code
Chemical X at checkout to receive 20% off anything on their website. They have phone cases, guys. They have some cute tops. They have literally everything. One-stop shop. So check them out. Chemical X at checkout for 20% off.
Anyways, I thought that was the most fucking disrespectful shit I've ever heard.
I mean,
I thought that happened to you too one time with your mom.
What was it?
The trip.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was going on a trip that my mom didn't know about. I was lying. I was saying I was going up north and I was really just going out of town for the weekend. And
it's
obviously the one time you try and lie or like try and just not say anything or just keep your mouth shut is obviously the time you're going to get caught, because who would she run into at the grocery store other than the one person, parents who knew, right? So anyway, it's just annoying.
Well, what happened?
I think blocked my mom from seeing stories, or I don't remember. This was like, guys, I was like 18. I blocked my mom from seeing stories, and then somebody ran into my mom and was like, oh, your daughter's having so much fun, and God knows where I was. I don't even know where
Bahamas
I was. Bahamas, something. And anyway, yeah, so my mom knew I wasn't up north. And
why is up north the easiest?
But also
excuse?
That's like done less maliciously because that person didn't know.
Yeah,
you know?
obviously not. But it's just like, shut your mouth also, though. Why can't everybody just shut the fuck up?
But I also get the feeling when you're like trying to make conversation with someone and make small talk, you're like, oh, I saw your daughter was here. Like, I get it.
I actually, now that you put it that way, I get it. I don't get it. Oh, yeah, I saw your daughter does OnlyFans. Shut the fuck up.
You know what I don't get, and I forgot to say in the last episode? So I was taking a flight back, and I always check my horoscope these days. You know, when things are going sour, you always need that little piece of hope.
I always
to just bring you back on the ladder.
I always say the person who goes to see a fortune teller every week, just get therapy. You know what I mean?
So I don't go every week, but I do check my horoscope.
We're always looking for a sign.
Weekly. If something wrong is going on in my life, then I check hourly.
Well, you know what I love about horoscopes is like if it doesn't really apply, you're just like, but when it applies, suddenly you're like biggest believer.
You're like, wow.
I always knew I was a Sagittarius for a reason.
So yeah, so before getting on my flight, I had checked my horoscope. I was kind of like in a shit mood, and
risky to do before a flight.
And I read the horoscope, and it was like, who knows if you'll spark a little romance with the person beside you or something like that. Okay,
basically saying you're about to sit beside the hottest guy.
Basically saying that I was meeting the love of my life and it was happening on this flight. But then I realized, because I was with another friend, that we had switched boarding tickets. Okay, so basically she was sitting the next aisle behind, and I took the favor to sit with the friend, and she was sitting alone.
Right.
So I turn around to talk to her, and I look at the person beside her, and I'm like, that's the hottest guy I've ever seen. Don't play with faith. Okay. Why did I not sit there? Why would I give my boarding ticket and switch with my friend? What was meant to be was meant to be. She saw my horoscope, so we all knew what we were in for. So when she was sitting next to him and I look at her, I just had to give her one glance. I'm like, want to switch?
Well, that's my faith that you're sitting beside.
I was like, that's my horoscope. I'm supposed to sit there. She goes, Alessia, I'm an Aquarius too. And I never got humbled so fast in my life. And I was like, wow, yeah, no. So a horoscope is not just for you.
Right.
It's for everyone in the month of January.
Well, I mean, it's fair because technically you were supposed to sit beside the hot guy, and she also sat beside the hot guy. So I guess I believe in horoscopes all of a sudden.
Holy shit.
That's crazy.
She's like, I only spoke to him a little bit during the flight. I was like, not allowed.
That's not allowed.
He was supposed to be with me.
How much does that make you? That's why when things don't happen, like for example, like when I'm fighting so hard to like get on a flight, like I was saying the last time, like standby flights and stuff, when I'm fighting so hard to get on that flight, sometimes I'm like, maybe it's better off I don't get this seat. Like imagine I'm fighting so hard for a seat on the plane and then I crash. Like, you know, sometimes you just have to let life give you what it wants to give you.
And I've really been like that recently, just in the vibes of, I've been telling all my friends that I'm just numb lately. Just with everything, with life, with just everything.
Right.
I'm just numb. Something bad happens to me, and I'm in some way it's good because I don't even have a reaction. It's the weirdest thing. I used to stress and freak out. I'm numb.
I mean, I think it's just like you realize you can't control anything.
That's what it is. You realize you just can't control it, and whether you react or don't react, there's literally no difference.
Yeah.
So just being numb is literally the most soothing feeling of numbness.
Good.
Like I lost my wallet the other day, and then I was and that's something not to be numb about because there's a lot of there's a lot of next actions after that, and I was literally so numb.
Right.
I lost my gold earring, and I'm like, where is it? I'm numb. Like everything is numb.
This is sounding like I need to stop the podcast and call a therapist or like a doctor. Like, are you okay?
No, guys, I'm so good. I'm just numb.
Good.
There's nothing anyone could say to me that's like, ooh.
Anything that you're saying now is making it seem worse. And I just feel like a really bad friend if I sit here and keep going.
Stop me. The episode's going to be Alessia's.
Are you okay?
No, I'm so good. I'm numb.
She's so good. Oh, yeah. Those two things, they don't exist in the same
I want
sentence.
to know if anyone in the comments has ever gotten to a stage of just realizing you cannot control anything and get so numb that it's almost like alarming.
It's alarming. I'm alarmed. The alarms, they're sounding. Not gonna lie. Pretty scary. You're like, I just don't feel like last night I stabbed myself and I didn't feel it.
No, it sounds so like sad and scary, but there's a part of it that I love. It's very weird.
I'm the opposite of numb. I'm tremble in my boots, girl. I'm literally never stops trembling. It's actually crazy.
Yeah.
So right now we're on two different levels.
We're on two different levels.
I'm just your chemical MX. Anyways, moving on from I guess your depression. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to swindle that into the next topic, but hey.
Wait, is that what you got from it? I mean, yeah. You know what?
Like
actually,
you're not really happy to be alive right now. You're like, could be. It's possible.
But I'm too numb to be depressed. Does that make sense?
Guys?
No.
Somebody help me out here. I wasn't built for this. I know I have a podcast, but I don't have the knowledge to what to do in this situation.
I just want to know if one person has ever been there.
I just feel like the meme where, you know, like the girl's crying and the other person is consoling them with a broom. That's how I feel right now. Like, I feel very like
laugh now, cry later.
Like it's gonna be okay.
Anyway, sorry.
So sorry that you're going through a lot, but if you don't mind, I'll get on to the next.
Please
topic.
move on.
Well, I actually feel we have to close the cameras. It's done. Guys, 22 minutes, it's done here.
Wait, what were we talking about before we spoke about my depression?
Well, before you admitted that you didn't want to be alive, we were talking about, you know, when you switch seats on the plane.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm not sure how we got here, but
yeah, no, I was numb in that situation too.
Right.
Anyway,
I'll just bounce right off out of this one.
No, for sure.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
And it's
be careful because now my answer is really
it's numb.
It's swayed from my numbness. Let's hear it.
I hope I'm not just talking to Wall at this point. I hope you could even hear me. Jeez. Holy. So I've been asking everybody this question and I'm getting an array of answers.
Okay.
But
have you ever asked somebody who's numb?
Okay, so you're in a relationship with your boyfriend and you catch him fucking a fake pussy, you know, not like a pocket pussy, like one of those like silicone like pussies with like an ass, like, you know, it's like you like put it on a table.
I actually saw one like literally 3 days ago.
Okay, so we're off to a good start. You have a visual reference, not numb about that. So you catch your boyfriend fucking this like fake pussy ass thing and he's wearing a VR headset. So he's essentially feeling as if he's fucking somebody because he's not even using his hand. He's like fucking
and the VR
pussy.
set is literally showing
it's POV, like he's fucking a girl. Is that cheating?
No.
But does it cross a line?
Keep in mind you're asking somebody who's very numb right now.
Yeah.
No, that's like
I mean,
come on.
It's close.
No, that's
you're
like
in the state. You're in that state. You are actually experiencing
okay, but what's so
that
different?
You are
what's so
with
different than
somebody.
masturbating then?
Because when you're masturbating, you know you're jerking off. It's like you're doing it to yourself. Whereas when you're fucking a fake pussy, and also in virtual reality where it actually feels as real as it could get without it being real, it's like you're like a wall away from it being real. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you're recreating sex so closely that at that point it's like you're almost sleeping with someone else.
I really disagree.
I think masturbating is different because you're watching something. There's a computer screen. You're there. You're jerking off. There's
not
a disconnect.
Necessarily,
but there's a disconnect. Whereas in VR porn, like it's you're
well,
there.
it's
you're
still
living
a disconnect because it's not actually a person.
I know.
It's still like the idea of someone.
But
like you could be
disconnect-
masturbating. You could be masturbating with no video, and you could be thinking about somebody. So technically, what you're doing is still thinking. It's like.
But you're experiencing. That's what I'm saying. It's a difference between thinking and experiencing. In this case, you literally have a VR headset, and you are like, if you look down, it's like a body, like a guy's body, and you're fucking a girl. Like it's POV
no,
style.
I know what it is. I
So
don't think it's cheating
fucking.
unless it's an actual human being. It's an actual person. To me, it's not cheating.
I think it dances the line of cheating.
Well, dances. She's dancing.
I don't think like it's cheating, but it's as close as you can get to cheating without actually, technically speaking, cheating.
If my man's way of not cheating on me is with that, get 6 of them. Tell me you know what I mean, though.
Yeah, I'd prefer that, you know, I don't know. It really rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah. Do you think it has to do with my numbness or do you actually believe that that's my thoughts?
I believe that that's your thoughts.
Yeah.
I just think like there's like, look, if we're not having sex in the relationship and you're doing that, okay. But like if you could be fucking me, but you're choosing to watch VR porn and fuck a fake pussy.
Now you're changing the entire narrative.
No, I didn't. I never specified. But I'm saying in that circumstance, like if we're not having sex, then okay. But if you could sleep with me and you're choosing to do that, like that's fucking weird.
Yeah, but it's different. It's 2 different things. It's a different experiment. Like, yeah, he can fuck you. He has access to you at any point. This is something different.
I understand.
It's not about doing the same thing again. It's about trying something new. It's about doing something
But
new.
you're experiencing that with another person that isn't me.
But it's not anybody.
Well, technically it is. It's a porn star.
Okay, but
you're in your mind.
yes,
you're
but you
fucking
can.
this
Yeah,
girl.
but it's no different than masturbating to a porn star. In my eyes.
telling you, for me, it's different because when you're masturbating, you're being entertained, you're experiencing, you're like watching something. Whereas when you're in VR, you're experiencing it for real.
No,
maybe you're not. Maybe it's not like actually really happening, but it's like the line before reality, before it actually becomes reality. So, and not only that, it's one thing to watch VR porn and jerk yourself off. It's another thing to be fucking a fake pussy. That way it actually feels like what you're doing in VR is really happening.
No, I know what it is. I know.
But I'm just saying that for me is where it gets,
I just think like if there's other methods that have my man doing other things and experimenting different things that doesn't translate to actually cheating with an actual human, then I'm open to it. Like whatever tickles your fancy, whatever.
Okay. And then do you feel like if your man is doing that now and like fantasizing about like essentially experiencing fucking other girls, don't you feel like in like maybe like 5 years from now or 10 years from now, he's gonna just go fuck a real girl if he's already fucking a fake girl?
Or if you don't allow him to experiment these things and then he's only fucking you, don't you think he's gonna cheat? Don't you think he has a chance of cheating too? Like you're asking me where the odds can happen
saying, like,
either
is
way.
it a gateway to cheating?
No, it's the same thing. It's like you saying, well, don't you think if he's fucking that he can eventually go and fuck an actual human?
That's what I'm saying.
But the same thing can happen regardless of if there's that.
I just think if you're allowing yourself to like fantasize about other people, like at some point, like when is it enough?
But this is where the disconnect is between me and you, because I truly believe that not every time you're fucking someone, you're thinking about that person. So I already think that this is when we spoke about this before. It's like you can be masturbating or fucking someone and not always be thinking of that person. I truly believe that because I'm like that a little bit. So for me, it's like I don't see it the same way. Does that make sense? Does that like explain to you a little bit more of why I feel that way? No?
I mean, if you think that way, yeah, but like I would never.
But like I don't like your answer.
But like I would never want some. Like I don't think about somebody else when I'm.
No, I
sleeping with
know.
someone.
We've had this discussion before.
Yeah.
I don't truly think that like every guy who's always fucking me, especially if we're fucking multiple times, he's always thinking of me. No.
Well, I feel like if you guys have a good sexual relationship, then
okay, yes,
then yeah.
But you don't think eventually after a year, 2 years, you don't think they wander? You don't think their mind thinks of anyone else? I think you're living in numbness
because
now.
mine doesn't. Like after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, I still don't think of somebody else. So like that's why I'm not like.
You don't think that anyone else does because
not that
you
I
don't.
think, not that I don't think that anyone else does. I just feel like I know it's possible to, like the way you're making it seem as if it's like impossible that you're still thinking about the same person.
No, I don't
I'm
think
saying,
it's
like,
impossible.
for me, because I know that I can do it, that I'm not like shocked that someone else would be able to do it.
Yeah, no.
And I just like if you have a good like sexual relationship that you should both.
But I don't think that it has anything to do with having a good sex. Why I got this episode?
Guys, if Manscaped wasn't good enough already, they literally just launched the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. So this is actually everything you need to be looking hot. I know we've been stressing about shaving your balls, but having a clean beard is actually worth more because I'm definitely kissing you more than I'm, giving your balls a little kiss. So you're like, okay, whatever that means. But guys, they literally have everything in this kit and it's so gorgeous. They have beard shampoo, beard conditioner, beard oil, cute little brushes. Like I don't even have, like I want a beard just so I could use this stuff,
Yeah, like you really want to smell good up there so that they go down there, if you know what I mean. And once they go down there, they could use the Lawnmower 4.0, guys. So head on to manscaped.com and use our discount code ChemicalX at checkout to receive 20% off anything on their website. So you need one of these, you need a lawnmower, you need the weed whacker, 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com.
I don't know. I think like obviously we don't see eye to eye on this, but like I don't think it's bad. It's hard to say.
Like no one, I just don't think everyone is like me who's gonna go ahead and say that. But I think that there's a lot of people who will have sex and be romantically thinking about fucking somebody else. And it's kind of deep to say, and it's like, well, you should be in the moment with the person you're having sex with, but sometimes when you create storylines and like it just doesn't always work out that way. And if I feel that way as a girl, I definitely think 99.9% of guys, maybe not 99, but like, come on, like you're so comfortable with each other. You've been dating for 3 years. You don't think they
I'm not saying that people don't. I definitely think people do.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, personally, I wouldn't, like, I don't know if I would be sleeping with my boyfriend and he's thinking about somebody else, like, and I would know that.
No,
like,
you wouldn't. That's
I
the
know that I
thing.
wouldn't know, but just like the idea that he would be is like fucked up to me. Like that for me is just like feels like there's something off if you are thinking about somebody else when you're sleeping with me. I personally feel like there's something off there because realistically, like your relationship, when it's really good, you're not thinking about anybody else. So your mind only starts to wander when you're lacking something.
Really?
I mean, that's how I feel because when I'm having a good time, when my relationship is good, when I'm in the moment, like I'm not thinking about somebody else. I would say your mind only starts to wander when you become unhappy or when you're missing things. The same reason why people cheat when they're missing things in their relationship.
Yeah, but
I think it's the same idea sexually. If your sex life is becoming stale, if you're not present in the moment, if you're not like learning new things, because there's always new things to learn. So
yeah,
if you let it become redundant, then it will be, and then you'll have to think of other people. But if you keep the effort to like be attracted to your partner and like,
but I don't really know how to explain it other than like it's just like sexual pleasures being met, and it has nothing to do with like an emotional like connection and me not loving the person or me not, because I've done it when I was really happy in relationships too. Like it wasn't something that was like I was missing something at that point. It's just like actually just like exciting and fun to like bring your mind to just like, I don't know. It's like a false reality almost.
but like, don't you think that that's...
Here we go.
Like, if your boyfriend is fucking you and he's thinking about his ex...
I'm numb. That's how I feel. I'm numb. I've literally spoken about this with other friends, and I'm not the only one. So
I'm not saying that you're the only one. I'm just saying, like, like if you would know that your boyfriend is sleeping with you and he's thinking about his ex, how does that make you feel?
The thing is, it's like I wouldn't know, and what I don't know doesn't affect me. And I think that's kind of like I'm not okay. Now it's sounding like what I don't know. Go cheat on me. No, that's not what I mean. I just mean like I don't know how to explain it when I have a podcast, and I should be able to explain it. It's just. It's not it has nothing to do with like the actual person. It's just about like creating a storyline that's like exciting for someone. And like, for example, if I want to come and like, I know exactly what I have to do, think about in order to come.
Right.
So that's why we say a lot of the times like women have the capability of coming or not. It's all in the mind. And I think like the mind is so strong, and that's where I feel like I'm like, I could wander in order to come.
Right.
If I'm like wanting to create this storyline and I'm just like.
But that I get.
Yeah.
But also, like, let's say I do that. I'm never thinking about another person. Maybe just like another situation, but there's no face. Does that make sense? Like, it's like if I'm using like the whole, like, because obviously like there's certain like triggers. So it's like if I'm doing that, I'm never thinking about another person. I'd probably just think about like a moment, but there's no one else involved. It's just like whatever was happening. So like I could replace that with like my boyfriend or like whoever. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm not thinking about that person. I think when it becomes personal and you have to think about a person and not whatever's happening, not like what I'm saying is like you're thinking about like a hot thing that happened. When you're like replacing the person, I think that's where for me, like I do get fantasizing about like other things that aren't happening right now in that moment.
Yeah.
But like thinking about it, that happening with another person is where like I can't see.
I think it's because when I'm having sex, I can dissociate like maybe emotional connection and like what's feeling good. So for me, it's like my man is still the one making me feel good, but I'm still able to have like this like sexual like fantasy.
Right.
And it's not always, it's just like, it's not always.
Sometimes.
Maybe a little. No.
I might.
So yeah, no, it wouldn't bother me.
So VR porn.
I think because my mind does these things,
Right.
I can understand.
But you
Look, it's not something you're going to be doing every single day, but like you would tell your man you can't try it?
I try is one thing.
Okay, so now you're open to try.
No, but I'm saying try is one thing. But if I catch them doing that, clearly that's something that they've been doing. You know, like I would personally feel
okay,
like
and if you catch your
whoa.
man masturbating, what are your thoughts?
I don't find like
It bad.
I don't find it bad.
Okay.
Depends on the circumstances.
Okay.
But like I feel like that's another level. That's for me like you're trying to experience something else. And like for me in the relationships that I want to have,
But why wouldn't
don't
you want them
want-
to try new things?
because as the person I am, like I'm readily available and like we can do anything you want. Like I would get it if you're in a relationship where you didn't have the freedom, but like you do with me. So why do you feel the need to outsource?
But
Because for me, I personally feel like you're trying to get as close as you can to cheating, to sleeping with somebody else without doing it. So in that case, like you could just be sleeping with another person if it's purely physical. You know what I mean? But I just feel like it's more than that. Like obviously pleasure is like connected to other things. And I just feel like if you need to, like it's one thing to like make yourself feel good and jerk off to like satisfy yourself, but like to go out of your way to like VR, be in a whole virtual reality.
okay,
and, like,
you changed the story. Right? You're like,
but I'm saying like you would catch him doing that. For me, catching somebody, it's obviously not the first time they're doing it. We agree. When you catch somebody doing something, it's because they've done it and now they got sloppy with it and now they're not as careful.
yeah.
So if you're catching it, it's because he's been doing it. And if he even went out of his way to buy the fake pussy thing,
I don't know
like, that's
why
a plan.
I don't see it as bad. I don't know what it is, and I think which is why my person wouldn't really be hiding it because I don't feel like it would be an issue.
but you'd be like, babe, yeah, go fuck the ass in the other room.
Oh my god, I got a day off, no problem. I'm kidding. No. I don't know. I don't. For me, it's not an actual human, and it's just like something you're technically imagining. So you can do it. And then if I stop him from these experiences, I feel like we actually don't know each other as well, if that makes sense.
But it's not about stop. If he wants,
Because you're saying like he has accessibility to me, but I'm like, you and this new item thing that he's doing is two different things.
But why do you need it if I'm there?
Because it's not about you being there. You are always there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm better.
I know, I hear you, and you are. But it's just like a, let me try this thing. Let me see.
I mean, listen, personally for me.
Because I would try it. I would do
But
it.
try is one thing.
Okay, but I thought that's what we were
So you're
talking
going to do
about.
VR porn and ride, like, imagine there was like a machine that could
I
like
would wanna
fuck you
try
like a
it.
guy. Okay, try and use that on a regular basis.
Okay, so you're saying, you're kind of agreeing with me because you're saying you would try it and you
But-
wouldn't consider it cheating if they did it once.
First of all, I wouldn't try it. But second of all, trying something is one thing. Like if I would be like, oh, I want to try it, it's like that's so cool. Even like watching VR porn, like for sure, fucking put the headset on me, like that's so cool. I want to try it.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's
If he's
weirder
doing
if you're
if
like,
he's doing it all the time, obviously it's fucking weird.
yeah.
But like most of the time, they won't want to do it all the time because then they just want to try it. They want to know what it's like. They want to experiment, and then it's like after a while, everything gets like kind of whatever. It's just a fucking toy in the corner.
Man, we have really different views on this fucking
With
thing.
this, yes,
Wow.
yeah,
Damn.
it's a fucking toy. Who cares? What's
I don't know. I have this vision of like walking in and like VR headset.
But take emotions out of the picture and like it not being about you, it not being about like, you know, him
But I
having
just feel like it is
accessibility
about
to
me.
you.
But it is about me.
But that's where you're wrong, I think.
I don't feel like I am wrong though, because if I'm satisfying you, then why do you feel the need to do this? It's one thing to like sometimes you
to
just want to
explore
like,
your
please
sexual
yourself.
like fantasies. That's like saying like, why do people do threesomes even though they're like in a happy relationship? It's just to like stimulate, to try new things, you know? So it's, I think the toy is like the same thing.
But like you're not involved. In a threesome, you are involved. Anyway, moving on.
Okay.
Moving on.
You close it off with a good point.
I mean, You know what I mean? Moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
So,
But do you get my point or not?
I
Not at
get
all.
your point.
I don't agree.
I don't agree.
Okay.
I personally don't see it that way. I can understand why you see and
Yeah.
feel.
But can you understand how it might be different?
It's not crazy. Like it's
Okay.
not. It's not absolutely
Fuck,
crazy.
I'm here sweating and I'm not even wearing an underwear.
It's not crazy. I just personally see it differently than you, or I guess like I put importance on different things. And it's because, and I think it's more so like you're relating it to yourself and I'm relating it to myself. So because I don't do things a certain way, I expect my partner not to.
Right.
But I guess you do certain things a certain way, so you don't mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is fair. Like,
Yeah.
It's fair to think something and expect it of the other person. So I think that's just the way that I see it. Is like I can't imagine exploring those things.
Yeah.
In a relationship. But that's just me.
But wouldn't it
Everybody
be
has their
fun
own
to
way.
be like, I tried this, like I wonder how it feels? Like, aren't you curious?
No. I'd
Okay.
rather sleep with a human.
Okay, yes. But they're dating you and that is not allowed. So what else
No,
can
I
we
know.
explore?
But I just don't have the need to explore anything else when I'm in a relationship. Like if I'm in a relationship, I will feel guilty if I even like think about somebody else like sexually. Like I'll feel like, oh my God, I feel so guilty for having done this. You know what I mean?
We
So,
spoke
like,
about this. I'll feel guilty if they know. If they don't know, then like whatever.
but not if they know. Like even if just my mind. Like I'm guilty for my own
I feel like
mind.
now everyone knows my mind and it's really tripping me out. I'm so numb right now. This was the perfect episode to bring this out. Numbness. Now someone's going to be sleeping with me. They're going to be like, she's not even thinking of me.
Oh, my 100%.
You know what it is? It's like it doesn't normally happen like at the beginning. That normally in the beginning you're very, very present. It's more just like when you get so comfortable with someone where you can like allow like kind of just like different options to like roam around in your mind.
Yes, but I would prefer to have a relationship where the different options are things that involve like both of us and not me having to like outsource to like thinking of someone else or like using other things without that person. Like I would
Like what, like
strive
toys? Like they're not allowed to?
No, I'm saying like without, like I'm saying like doing things outside of them, like to satisfy me. Like I think I strive to have a relationship where it's always gonna be fun and always gonna be new, which is like unrealistic. But like I think,
but
like,
I'm
if
saying the
you
same
keep-
thing, and it's fun and it's always different. Then you're kind of agreeing with what I'm saying.
But I'm saying like I want to do things that are fun and different without having to include other people or think about other people or like fantasize about other people. Like I think there's just ways.
But then
to,
you're
keep-
like so limited.
not, literally not.
Wait, that was so like Australian what you just said. Not really not.
Literally not. But like no, I mean you could do so much without another person.
No, I know you could do so much, but anyway, okay, we're done with this convo.
Anyway.
We're done. We're
Well,
done.
I guess all the VR porn guys hit up Alessia on Instagram at Alessia.
You asked
like,
me if I would
please.
consider it cheating, and the answer is no.
Okay, that brings me to my next question.
Let's hear it.
Is it okay to think about cheating and not act on it in a long-term relationship?
Okay, this question confuses me.
Well, like you're in a long-term relationship. Let's say
Okay.
you're in a 5-year relationship and you're thinking about cheating, but you're not acting on it. But you're toying with the idea of cheating on your partner. Like you're maybe thinking about like, ooh, like I would sleep with that person, like, and maybe like imagining how you would do it and what it's like and like how you would get away with it. You're just fantasizing about cheating, but you're not actually doing it. Is it okay in a long-term relationship?
I mean, how do you control your mind?
With discipline?
You're not doing it, but like, how do
not
you
acting on
control
it.
a mind that like wanders? Here we go.
Here we go. I just think like, is it okay? Would you be okay
With
with your man
discipline?
fantasize about sleeping with another woman?
Sorry, repeat.
Would you be okay if your boyfriend was like thinking about cheating on you? Thinking about it. He's not acting on it, but he's thinking about it.
Just the question is really hard to respond because I don't know. Like, I find out that he's thinking about cheating on me.
You don't find out. I'm just saying in theory. Is it okay?
I mean, it's not okay, but I can't control like his mind.
Right? But for me, how about I give you my answer? I think, and I've said in the past though, which was an exaggeration, but I even said like even thinking about cheating is cheating. But like I think if you're getting to the point of
But then
fantasizing
at that
of
case,
cheating,
everyone's cheated.
No, I'm saying like that was an exaggeration, but like if you're getting to the point of like fantasizing about cheating on your partner, I personally feel like you need to look within your relationship and be like, what the fuck is going on? Because I personally feel like that's not okay. It's obviously not cheating to think about it, but you're definitely on the road. You know what I mean?
I think what you're trying to say is that if you're having so many thoughts about cheating, then you should just end the relationship.
Yeah.
But like, is it cheating to think about cheating?
No, I mean, it's obviously not.
Unless you're acting on it, no.
So it's okay. I'm not saying it's cheating, but is it okay?
It's like,
is it acceptable?
It's like it's black, it's white, and it's gray. Like I'm like,
is it acceptable to do it?
It's not acceptable, but like I said, like how do you control the mind?
You can't.
That's what I'm saying. You're saying discipline, but you can't actually technically control what your mind
control
is.
Somebody else's mind. Like you can't discipline, like you can't control what somebody else is thinking of. But like I think personally for yourself, you can discipline yourself. Like if you're allowing yourself to think about sleeping with every girl, like that's kind of on you. Personally. I mean, like you have control over your mind.
You absolutely have control over your mind. I totally agree with that.
My point was just like you can't control somebody else's mind. Like you can't tell somebody like, don't think about cheating on me.
I think that's the whole sole reason why we cannot read anyone's mind.
Right.
Because if everyone could read anyone's mind, then good luck with life.
But like I'm just saying, I just think like it's a problem. Like I don't think it's okay. Like if I would find out that my man was thinking about cheating on me but didn't actually do it, for me that would be enough to end the relationship. Even though there was nothing concretely done, you were still thinking about cheating on me.
Yes, I just find this question so weird because it's like you're not finding out. It's just like someone's mind. So how do you get mad at someone's thoughts even though they haven't acted on it? That's why I find this question hard. It's like, obviously it's fucking shit if you find out somebody's thinking about, cheating, whether they've acted on it or not. But that's kind of why you don't read someone's mind.
I guess.
Maybe.
I don't know.
This question, no, I'm kind of agreeing with you. I just think the question's like,
it's a hypothetical, obviously.
Yeah, no.
They're never easy to answer. That's why I'm asking it.
Yeah.
But like I just feel like it's a problem if you're thinking about cheating.
I think it's a problem if you keep thinking about cheating and you're not ending it. That's a problem. But I think if your mind goes there and wants to cheat but then pulls through and switches your mind frame and then you don't, like,
then it's safe.
Well, then it's like you have discipline, I guess.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, maybe.
It's fair.
People are gonna be like ping pong with this episode.
It's hard though, because the way that I think about it, it's like I think I'd have to be in a relationship for like 10 years to be able to say how it changes. Because right now I can only speak for myself. And
exactly.
Like, my longest relationship is like, let's say 3 years. So like I can say, okay, for that time period, like I would never have thought about cheating on that person, and like that would be so bad. But
then you're pretty much good. You're pretty much solid. I think you're good
if I hit 3 years. But I just think like after 10 years and so much, like I think at some point your mind will wander.
Okay, she's coming around.
But I'm saying like I feel like I'm only imagining like in 10 years, I wouldn't think that it would be like fucked up that your mind would wander. I think it's like fair to say. But then I also feel like, is it a reflection of like how your relationship is? Because if you are happy and satisfied, does your mind need to wander?
I think it's just being so used to something and then wanting to explore the idea of like a fantasy, or just like wanting to try something new that will light a spark or like excite you, or just, and it's
okay. But where do you draw the line? That's what I want to know.
Dive right in.
Let's dive right into that.
I don't know, and I'm not in a 10-year relationship. I'm just saying that I've felt like that in a 3-year relationship. So yeah, in 10 years, I'm definitely probably feeling like that.
But like, okay, so in that case, experiencing new things, whatever, would you let your man sleep with somebody else to experience new things? Like I'm talking like consent. Like, would you guys be like, okay, let's, you get a hall pass, I get a hall pass.
I'm not in 10 years. I don't know. and I don't want to say yes or no, but I don't know. I don't have an answer on that. I don't know.
But it's a possibility.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't want to be like no or yes. I think like, yeah, it's like if we take like emotion out of it and it's just like for pleasure, but and it's like, you know, that person's still coming back to you and it has nothing to do with like, and it's just like feeling a fantasy and it's like we're both doing it. Like,
yeah. I mean, yeah.
I mean, I definitely think like once you're in it, there's a lot more emotions. You can get jealous. I definitely think there's all those factors to consider. But I think if it's 10 years in and you're trying to...
Right. And look, I'm not saying that like a lot of people do that, like swingers, you know, that's what they do. And obviously there's nothing wrong with that. And like everybody has their own boundaries. I'm just like curious as to know, like when your argument is always like about experiencing new things and pleasure and like that. So it's like at what point?
But we were talking about all things that were not actually a human.
That's what I'm saying. Where's the line for you? Where does it become like, okay, now we're not experiencing anymore. Like, no, I'm not okay with this. Would it be like when another person is involved? Like if they're, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I would have to only talk about this when I'm in like a long-term relationship and like this comes about, and then I'd have to see like the state we're in, because sometimes we don't realize, but like the people who are actually swingers and stuff have the most close relationship, have the most have the most honest. Sometimes we think it's like people who only sleep with each other that have like the most honest relationship, but it's like normally they're like, they can't even express to their partner how they actually feel and what they actually want. That's why a lot of people also cheat, because they're just like, I can't even bring myself to bring this conversation up, so let me just do it, not say anything, and then whatever, you know.
I mean, I do agree that like I think to actually do things like swinging, threesomes, whatever, you actually have to have a really solid relationship to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So like I don't think that it's necessarily like a telltale on like if you guys have a bad relationship. I don't think either if you don't sleep with anybody else that you have like a bad relationship or like a closed off relationship. Like I think either or could work.
I think there would definitely have to be like a lot of communication. It'd have to be something that it would be 100% on both ends. It can't be something that someone's getting a little bit more of and like someone else is getting the end of the stick.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
That's my final answer.
And what's like your point of view on like
having... Are these questions that like, are you making these up now?
I'm making these up now.
Okay, because you're adding. We spoke about the question.
What would be your point of view on like having a threesome with your man? Like what would be like your ground rules?
Guys, please, I am the guest today. My name is Alessia. Veronica's interviewee. She's so sweet.
Like first of all, would you have a threesome with your boyfriend?
Yes.
Okay, and what were your what would your like boundaries be?
We can't know the girl. It can't be somebody that like I'm friends with, and it have to be on vacation.
Okay. Your boyfriend's going Aruba.
No.
Stranger.
It'd have to be somebody that like I chose, not my man. And then it would have to be
agree with that.
Someone that we're just never gonna see again, and like just in case it goes sour.
And would you be like, okay, you can't like kiss her, or like, is there anything that like can't be done? Or are you like, whatever happens, as long as I don't know the girl?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so like anything's on the table.
Yeah.
I was watching something that I thought was really interesting. And like the girl was saying she was saying like, you know, in a threesome, like things can go like, I think things can go wrong so quickly. And she's like, I feel like the best way to like make your girl comfortable in a threesome is like, always make your girl in charge. Like, and I think that's where men fuck up in a threesome is like, if you're more excited than me, if you're initiating too much,
so true.
It's like, let me be the boss of this like encounter. Like you said, I want to choose the girl or whatever. Like, I think it's important in that situation that like you're making your partner feel comfortable. And especially like as a girl with another girl, like there's a sense of competition. So you want to make sure that your girl knows that she's calling the shots.
So fucking true. And as soon as
I would personally feel that my man is like, I don't know, like doing the most or like trying to like initiate or like doing too much or like being too overly nice to the other girl. Not that he can't be nice to her, but it's just like let me
It's so true.
rule this interaction.
It's the same thing like we were saying, like we're going to the strip club. Like, let me say I want to go
Yeah.
and you come. Like, always want to be the one who's like kind of bossy in that sense. And I think that's the same thing when it would be like,
I think that would make me feel secure.
For sure.
Like if you're giving me the space to do what I want and you're just having a good time with me, I would feel more comfortable than if you're trying to do what's going to please you. And like I don't know, I think that would really make me uncomfortable if like I felt my man like initiating too much, doing
for
too
sure.
much. I'd be like, take a seat. You know, like it's fun to experience this together, but I would personally feel like I would need to be the one.
I just wonder if you would be like mad and pissed during this, like the sexual intercourse, or afterwards be like, wow, I'm like hit. Like this is like much.
Who?
Like you.
Me.
Like if he was initiating and going on to the girl, would you just like find it in your mind to just find that really hot and sexy, or would you be like pissed during?
I think
because a lot of the times, like I feel like you wouldn't be during, you would just be maybe pissed afterwards. Once you're like out of it.
Yeah, I think when you're in the moment, it's easy to like slip up on boundaries. But I think one thing would bother me, and even in the moment, is if I would see him like doing too much.
Yeah.
Initiating too much, that would in the moment be like, okay, chill. You know, like I want to feel like I'm in control because that's going to make me feel good about this situation.
Yeah.
And if I feel like you're taking the control, and I'm not saying like sexually, I mean more so in the encounter. Like if I feel like you're trying to run it and like do what you want to do, it's going to feel a little bit like,
for sure,
you're getting too much pleasure out of this. And I know that sounds fucked up to say, but there's an idea behind that.
So basically, the guys that are listening, they have to take a seat.
Take a back seat.
And they got to calm down on the excitement, even though we know it's there.
I just think realistically, like, especially when you're bringing somebody of the same sex as your partner, it's really important to understand that naturally those two people are going to, in some way, be pinned against each other. Not competing, but like, I think as a girl, as soon as another girl is coming in, like, you want to still feel like you're the best in the sense of like, you're the closest to that person. So if you're starting to prioritize the other girl, like I'm going to feel left out and I'm going to feel like I'm losing control of this situation.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's really important in like keeping your partner comfortable. And I can imagine it would be the same thing if it would be like two guys. You know what I mean? Like let's say you have a threesome with your boyfriend and another guy. Like I would want him to tell me what I should do and shouldn't do, because like in that situation, like he's the one that might feel more uncomfortable. Right? Do you get what I'm saying? Because he's up against another guy. So like in that case, I would allow him to take the lead in showing me what's okay to do and what's not okay to do.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that.
So I think it has to be the person, like whoever is like, I would say kind of the same sex that's coming in.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
We finally agreed on something at the end of this fucking podcast.
No, I agree. Sometimes when I watch like porn and it's like a threesome and then there's two girls and one guy, but like she's married to her husband. This is the whole scene. She's married to her husband, but like she's definitely is the one calling the shots, and like the other girl is not able to fuck him, but they can do everything else. But like she's the one who's actually fucking her man. What are your thoughts on that?
I feel like that's kind of what I would do.
That's what you would do?
But then again, I personally feel like I wouldn't want, like where I'm at now, that's what I would imagine I would be okay with.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like I should have a threesome if that's what I'm okay with. Because I know walking into a sexual experience, it's really easy to cross your boundaries.
That makes sense, yeah.
And I feel like I would want to wait, or even if it doesn't come, then just never do it. But like until I'm at a point where I would be okay with the idea of more, because it's too hard to walk into a situation like that with so many rules. And I think things can get blurry really quickly. And I just wouldn't want to put myself in a situation that like I'm cool with it in the moment and then later on I regret.
Yeah, but like if you communicate with your partner and he's clear that that's your boundary, then I don't think you should be like,
look, I don't think that I think it still works for sure. I just feel like I have too many boundaries for it to be like pleasurable right now. Do you get what I'm saying? I feel like I'd be going into it with too many like, well, don't do this, don't do that. And like,
for sure,
I would want to be at a place where I'm a little bit more like open and like comfortable, because then I know there's less that can go wrong. And I would want to make that be like ideal. Like ideally the least that can go wrong, the better. And the more pleasure we can get, like the funner it could be, the better.
Yeah.
And like, obviously that's with like
Yeah. So let's say you're having a threesome, but like you've been with your partner for 5 years. You obviously know like you're married. He's not leaving you. Like, are those things that would make you feel more comfortable in knowing that maybe in the future you would be open to it, knowing that you know no matter what, like he doesn't give a fuck about this girl. It's literally just for the experience. Like, would you or you just think no?
Marriage doesn't change anything for me. I think it's just all about
no.
how my
I just
partner
mean
makes
like
me feel.
you have a partner.
Yeah.
He's not leaving you, regardless. Yeah. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Married or not married, would you be more comfortable with the idea then? Because it's obviously when it's new, like when you're recently dating someone, I feel like it's like more about competition. There's a lot more things that can get blurred because I feel like you're in a new relationship and you don't really know your partner that much. But if you're so communicative, 5 years down the line, you know them so well. You know that your bond is so strong that nothing's going to come between and not even a girl.
And that's why I'm saying, like, I feel like I would wait until...
Yeah. And maybe you might not ever get there, or maybe you might. But like, I do think that like time and communication it would be the true factor.
And like when you see your relationship just become stronger and stronger, you know that like a simple sexual experience will not get in between that.
Exactly.
So like I do agree that I'm sure with time like it would be stronger.
Yeah.
You know? Definitely. Yeah. I think like, for sure. With anything.
Or are you just more in love? Wait,
well, what I was gonna say is my only fear with it being more time is that I feel like in the beginning I'm winning because I'm new. And I know it's gonna sound weird. Let me explain.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the relationship, I'm still fresh and new and exciting that you only want me. So even if we bring in another girl, like, yeah, it's cool and all, but like you're still so infatuated with me that like I would still be untouchable in that sense.
Oh my God, whereas I think it's the opposite.
In a long-term relationship, because you're so used to me, I feel like you might get so much pleasure out of sleeping with a new girl that I might be like, whoa, you know, like, can I make you feel that way without this experience?
Okay, so I think the opposite. I think that if you're really, like, you really know someone and you've created that bond and you've communicated and it's just like, that's your person. Like, I don't think somebody who can come in could really just change that regardless of if it's a hot fling or not.
Right. I mean, yeah, like that, like I said, like it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Like it's a contradiction.
Don't you think like, when you're like new and like a hot cheeky, then and there's
more
no
fragile,
like more fragile and no like emotional connection, and it's just like it's so new. Don't you feel like you're easily more able to be dropped? Because it's like he doesn't have that connection to you. So like to bring in a new girl is almost like more threatening. I don't know. Things to think about.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Just thoughts to think.
We had so many other questions. We didn't get through them.
Anyways, whatever
that episode was. Guys, I'm numb.
Guys, thank you
Veronica's
so much for listening.
After this episode,
I don't know what I am. But thank you so much for listening. Once again, love you. Subscribe.
Thank you so much for having me on. My name's Alessia. My socials are.
It's crazy, man. I know exactly what this episode is going to be, and it's going to be the time that you said it's okay for your guy to get a happy ending massage. No. And I was sure no one would agree with you, and everyone agreed with you. And that this is the same thing that's going to happen now.
No,
I'm going to be the crazy one.
Not true. You know what it is? Every girl is going to...
I have a rash.
No. Every girl's going to agree with you, and every guy is going to agree with me. That's what it's going to be.
So you're for the boys.
No, it's not that I'm for the boys. Boys, the bulls.
The curiosity killed the bull. You love these bulls.
I do think I'm not the only girl who thinks this way, but I do think that more people think like you, for sure. Hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down.
So you're different.
I'm not different.
I'm kidding.
Because there's so many things that I agree with you on.
Yeah. It's fine. Different point of view.
Different point of view.
Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Hello.
I have a rash.